Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the Mobility Resort Motegi for round 16 in this year's Motogp World Championship. It's the Motul Grand Prix of Japan as we complete the first of two hugely important triple headers with Phillip Island, Buriram and Sepang still to come. Joining us for the first of two pre-event press conferences are the top two riders in the World Championship, led by Prima Pramac Racing's Jorge Martin. Jorge, 21 points clear in the championship, pole and Grand Prix win last weekend in Mandalika just 4 days ago, and he was from pole position. He won the sprint and Grand Prix here in Japan 12 months ago. Second in the World Championship, of course, he's the reigning world champion Ducati Lenovo team rider Pecco Bagnaia. Sprint winner in Mandalika last time out, third in the sprint here last season, and second in the Grand Prix 1 year ago. We'll start the press conference with a question for both of you guys. After Mandalika last weekend, after what we saw happen to Marc Marquez and Enea Bastianini, this is starting to feel like it is now a two-horse fight for the World Championship. Is that how you guys see it? Jorge, we'll start with you.
Well, for sure, Mandalika was a really intense weekend after me crashing on Saturday and then Enea and Marc out of the race on Sunday. For me, it's been a long time since I think that will be Pecco and me for the title. It's still 5 races, so for sure I think it's still a chance for them. They can do it for sure, 100%. If somebody can do it, it's them. But I feel it's quite difficult at the moment, so I feel it's more about Pecco and me. But yeah, for me it's a pleasure to be able to fight with a champion like Pecco, like Marc, an amazing rider like Enea, and let's see what happens. But I think they have chances, but for sure it's quite difficult.
And Pecco, what about you? Do you see this now as a straight fight once again between you and Jorge for the championship?
From the start of the season, more or less, that we are making the difference between all the rest. It's true that till mathematically will be possible for Enea and for Marc to be champions, we have to consider them. We know perfectly, better than anybody else, me and Jorge, how easy to have a mistake, to have a crash this season. So it's something that can change quickly. So I will consider them till that mathematically will be possible, but it's also true that from half of the season we are the two that we are always leading the races, always leading the sessions. So I think till Valencia will be like this.
And guys, to both of you once again, 2024 feels like it's going to be a rematch of what we saw in 2023. Jorge, what are your views on that? You know very well Pecco's strengths. You're desperate to, of course, be world champion this year. Do you feel like it is your time? Do you feel ready?
Yeah, for sure. I don't feel desperate, as you said. I feel okay. I will try to win it. I will give my 100% as always. I think I'm a different rider comparing to last season. Last season I felt super strong and maybe even faster than this season, but maybe more complete, let's say. So as I said before, for me it's a pleasure to be here again with Pecco. I still remember a lot from last part of last season when we were always doing some shootings or press conference together. So it's good to be here again, I think, for both of us, because we've been again the best out of all the riders, and yeah, let's see what we can achieve.
And what about you, Pecco? Of course, it is a rematch in many respects. You came out on top in 2023. Do you think it'll be harder to beat him this year? Not, of course, because you're chasing a 21-point gap, but he's got the experience. He's clearly motivated to take that #1 plate. And do you think the experience of the last 2 years is going to be crucial in these last 5 Grand Prix?
Looks exactly the same, but in the opposite sides. I think with Jorge, it's nice to have a battle again. We had always fair battle, fair fight, and a fair respect between us. So I think will be the same situation this season. It's nice to be fighting again like this. Could be nice to have a battle between us before finishing the season, but it's a continue, not a rematch. It's a continue from last season, and I think that the better one will win. Was a tough season for the mistakes of both of us, but it's true that Jorge was more constant compared to me. And for the next races, we have to do a little step in front in terms of performance, because we missed something in the last races, but I'm very happy to be back here, to be here and fighting till the end with Jorge, that I think is super strong.
Yeah, you've proved once again, guys, you are the fastest riders in Motogp once again this year. Jorge, let's just focus a little bit more on this weekend here in Japan. Fantastic weekend here 1 year ago, pole position, sprint win, a Grand Prix win in very difficult conditions. Of course, do you see this as a great chance to build on that 21-point lead and put a bit more pressure on Pecco?
Yeah, well, for sure, last weekend was incredible. It was, even if I lost some points in the championship, I felt super good after winning again. After, since Le Mans was tough, a big roller coaster. I was quite close to win some Sunday, but then I did mistakes, so it was really emotional and was really good to win. But then now we start from zero. I think I don't care a lot about last season. Last season for sure was good, but it was a different situation. I was coming behind, trying to attack, and I won the sprint and the Sunday race, but I think this time will be different, will be tough. I see that the weather forecast is quite unpredictable, so will be also difficult and really challenging. So yeah, I will give my best, but let's see.
And Pecco, of course, you took 3 points back on Jorge last weekend in Indonesia. Looking at the tracks left on the calendar, do you see Motegi as a good chance for you and Ducati to take some more points back again this weekend?
Considering the track and considering the performance of Jorge in Mandalika, we had to see this weekend in a positive way. Gaining 3 points in a track where suits good to Jorge from last year was good. And yeah, Motegi is a track that I like. It's a track that suits better to my riding style compared to Mandalika. We have a lot of braking point and acceleration, so I think is more similar to Austria. That is a track that I'm feeling good. So let's see this weekend. The weather could be different compared all the season, because looks that Sunday could rain and for the qualifying. So we have to be prepared in any situation, in every situation, and I think our performance could be very good to have a good result and to start gaining more points to Jorge.
Best luck to both of you this weekend here in Japan. We have Motogp Social coming up a little bit later on, but for now we'll invite questions, please, from the media. Thank you.
Here, hello, Borja González from DAZN. A question to Pecco. What do you prefer? This situation, like we can say, we don't know, but the only hunter in the championship, or did you prefer to have also Enea and Mark in the fight? And then in these 5 tracks, where do you think you can be, or you feel you can be stronger than Jorge?
I don't care if we are 3, 4, 5. I want just to be leading again. So for me, it doesn't change anything. And I think this track is good for us. I think Thailand and Malaysia is good for us. So we have 3 tracks where we are very strong, and we have Australia where Jorge is very strong. But I think the fight could be very with a similar performance, like in Thailand and in Valencia. But we had to. I think we are in a situation where we need to be better than him. You can control a bit more. He can control a little bit more.
Simon Patterson from the race. Question for both of you. Pecco, like you said, the weather forecast for this weekend looks a little bit unpredictable. If we get rain in the 2 races, what does that mean for your strategies? Do you have to kind of mark the other guy instead of maybe fighting for the win, or what do you do?
I don't know. I think it's still early to think about it. If it rains, the important thing for me is to focus on doing my best. I think at the moment I don't want to think a lot about the title. It's more about doing my best every race weekend. There's still five races to go, so it's no sense to start thinking about controlling. I think it's more about doing a good job and taking points in every situation.
Yeah, I think the same, but the most important thing would be to be ready in any case. Last season we had flag to flag, and we finished both first and second. So I think in that moment is the moment when you have to control a bit for don't take too much risk, but you have to take points. So it's one of the most difficult things, but also one of the greatest things to do, because it gives to you a lot of motivation, a lot of adrenaline. So I think you have to be ready.
Hi, Mela Chercoles, question to Peko from Diario AS and Cadena Ser. Peko, speaking with Marquez, he bet for Martinator because thinking that is faster at this moment, and speaking with Enea, bet for you because you now have away the title of MotoGP. What do you think about their opinions?
Italians goes with Italian, Spanish goes to Spanish. Yeah.
Neil Morrison, I have a question for Jorge. Jorge, I remember in the flyaways last year, you said that you didn't really enjoy the experience because there was so much pressure and it was so intense. Just wondering, this year, how does it compare? Do you feel a little lighter or do you still feel that quite intense pressure?
Yeah, well, I sleep much better now. Last season was really difficult to manage for me. Maybe not here in Japan still, but more in Thailand and Malaysia was really tough. Also Valencia. I feel I improved a lot in terms of the mental side. I worked a lot during all the season, and I think I did an amazing step. So I'm enjoying now. I enjoy to go back on track. I enjoy to ride. Last season was the opposite. It was like a bad dream. No, I don't know how to say it.
Nightmare.
A nightmare. Yeah, sorry. It was really a nightmare. Even if I was winning, I didn't enjoy at all. But now I'm enjoying. So I'm super happy. And I'm proud to be here, so it's really, really, really good.
Okay, just a quick check to make sure the media are happy. We'll move on then to MotoGP Social, and it's an absolute pleasure to welcome the top three riders racing in the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup. We're joined by Cup leader Zen Matani from Japan. Zen leading by 50 points after winning 4 of the opening 6 races. Second in the standings and also in his home round this weekend is Ryuichi Takahira. And third overall, we welcome Indonesia's Kiandra Ramadipa. Welcome to all three of you guys. We have a question first to both, and that is from Zen.
Thank you. The first question is, what do you want the most from racing? And second, my dream is to be like you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Your dreaming is coming true now?
Okay, thank you for the questions. What I like the most, so it's difficult to say. Maybe for sure celebrations are nice. But what I enjoy the most is maybe the preparation, like the process. I enjoy a lot the process to train, to get in shape, to feel like your body also evolve, no, and also work on the details. I think is what I enjoy the most. And yeah, about my dreams, yeah, I think my dreams already I achieved a lot of my dreams. Still one remaining. But I'm proud that I arrived into the World Championship, then into MotoGP, and being able to fight for championships, it's amazing. So for sure I achieved a lot of dreams.
Thank you.
For me, what I want the most is a victory. Fight, train, prepare myself to arrive and win. Championship races. I think nothing gives to you the same feeling, the same emotion as a victory. So I think it's all the sacrifices, all the works is nothing compared what is the victory. So you give your 100%, and doesn't matter what you have to do to reach this result. And in my case, my goals are my dreams are getting. Not revealed, are arriving, because I think I dream a lot about winning in Moto3. I did it in a race, then I was winning a title, I won the title in Moto2, then was to ride in a MotoGP with Ducati, and I did it and won the title in the maximum category, so the Premier category. So I think my dreams are always increasing. I just want every time something more, but I'm super proud and super happy what my career is, how my career is going, and I would like to continue like this as much as I can.
Zen, we hope your dream comes true and you're racing one day with both Pecco and Jorge in MotoGP. Our next question then comes from Ryuichi Takahira, and that's a question for Pecco.
Hello, Pecco. I have a question. What is the key when communicating with your team staff?
Communicating with the team is something, one of the most important thing, because you have to be very precise and very clear on your explanation on what your bike is doing, what you feel from the bike, and to say it correctly to the team means also that they understand before what they need to do to improve your feeling. So I think communicating and understand what to say is one of the most important things. Have a great combination between your feeling and your words to the team. So it's one of the most important things.
Fantastic advice as always from the double world champion in Motogp. Our final question then for Jorge comes from Hyandra Ramadipa.
Hello, Jorge.
Hello.
When you're racing, what thoughts do you have in your head?
So, a lot. It's difficult. It's difficult to explain. For sure, depends on the race. There are some races where you are following somebody and it's just following, so it's quite easy. But for sure, races when I lead for maybe like Indonesia, where I lead 27 laps, it's quite difficult because you have a lot of things or thoughts on your mind. For sure, the strategy, and I try to focus on the feeling and on the breaking points, and my I don't know how to say my. My points where to brake, where to accelerate, my
Reference.
Yeah, my reference, sorry, my reference. But for sure, when you are racing, you are maybe the last laps you start thinking about the celebration or maybe what to have for dinner, or different things. So you have to refocus really fast. So yeah, a lot of different things.
You're thinking all the time about smashing the screen, aren't you, Jorge? That's
this, it's my signature. From this point, every time I win, I will destroy the screen, 100%.
Fantastic questions, fantastic answers. Thanks to Zen, Riichi, and to Keandre. And just ask Pecco and Jorge, please, to stand for the photo. Okay. Thank you very much, guys.